Nora Master, how are you, Gopinder? Gopinder? So are you. No, you are handsome, my friend. You are. Hello, Red. You. Happy Friday to you, Reggie. Red. What would one say? That's why would you talk that? It was always you. Does what I try of Tai Chi help me right now? Yes, it does. No, you have a nice day. You have a kind of day. Hi. Wouldn't I? All right. Talk where's what's us? Talk loud so I can hear you. Don't be against. All right. Yes. Could one get that far? Hey! Would not try to advise it. There are lights around. Sounds like you are putting you in an act rather than putting you in a tact. The tact to shush. Why is it always sounds like? 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 Why does it always looks like? Why does it always looks like? Skippity two and skippity tip, skippity two and skippity tip, skippity two and skippity. Skippity two and skippity tip. Skippity two and skippity. Skip. What's the new idea for you today? What are yo? For the sake. What's the plan in place? Are you guaranteed that you do not have any plans? You want to talk? Kind. You want to set up? Life. And how do you proceed with the commands and instructions handed to you? You need me. No, that's not me. Would you need you? Yes. I see an act within you. The directions. Speech bubbles and a portrayal of talk in the United Kingdom. If you were a tourist, what would you how would you would you ask for directions? Proceed. You can tutor. Are you master? Oh, yes. The free use of the word master. For the lives that are here, they're in for a duration of a said duration. So you are be any learn of martial arts. Please talk, please tell. They promote violence. So it's all love, yes? Love will take away any learn of any what looks violent. Then oh. God. We love a good love story. Do you have one? Do you have one? Please tell. Well, one would assume that you would have one. Please tell. You won't have one. Oh. So then why would you want a love story? You have seen a life without a love. Why would you want a love story? Because you like one. It would take you out of violence. It would take you out of learn martial arts. We want a love story. We want muse. We want dance. You want you. What kind of love story would you like? Would you declare that you are a liker of romance and watch martial arts on the side? Quite so many articles were under review. And to think, well, when the cover goes off, they would have got away with it if it wasn't for those pupils, students. Oh dear. What a master, what a tutor would have to go through in life. Yeah. So, please tell me what love story you would like. Follow. Sounds of a story of want to know. Send the microphone down. You're going to have to laugh with that description, ma'am. So you have sent an order to put the microphone in direction en route. Or what has the microphone done? They will create a scenario of pressure because they love love stories. They love romance. It's the part of the world that makes it all count. Violence, martial arts are not for you. You know where you're going to get that from. Me? I have to say sorry for the use of any screen works. Would you declare that work or would you declare me? They would not know the pressure of how to tutor the pupils here. Our master must understand how. Why would I understand? No, why would I learn the presence of what was the past? Corporal punish was removed. But yet, a tutor somehow hides one here. Ooh. Well, when it's independency, there are no canes. There's talk. But when it's dependency, then, my friend, only that will work. Aye. The schools are within localities for the tutors to understand that they have a reserve of how to use a particular article later in life. When they travel to the universities, when they are in the thoughts that they have become independent of the institutions that were present. We can find a way to close the inside, locate it, and return the corporal punished. That was my results later. Do you think that you are in a kind manner when you include the corporal punish of the past in now the present? It crosses the mind. It always will. Same quote. What? So you brought corporal punish back because you would not like the independency of any life. They must return to a dependency. They must turn to a they must be put in a room. They must be behind closed doors. They must fall under locks and chains. They must retain no act anywhere until they are not to talk of what one has done. They are to keep themselves quiet. Shush. So you would have a sense of why that was a good result for you. It will improve the behavior and the character of the life, the human person. The overreaction to any particular talk will lead to translation of what you were not for you, but now what you have become. And that was, why do I understand a stick to follow you wherever you are? A cane, sorry. A cane will sound hard. A stick's just a piece of wood. A cane sounds like it will give a bit of. So why, when one would think of the head shooter, the one that would tell you you can eat the food of the canteen, so why would one learn of a harder stick, a cane to follow them where they are? Where shooters would like Corporal Panache back. They want to become independent, lives of own. We are the tutors and we must guide and guarantee that we are in control. For life. We will throw the box down and tell you that it's our role until why? Until you find out what one will have the act of. My. Does it cross the thoughts of all? Well, it told you in the wall. Now, fed up. When you take control out of you, what you turn to. It's a part of the psychotic cells inside you. I had control one day, and now one cannot. I must find order and authority to take over lives where they are not now. There are no statistics with any followers. The internet gave you a lot of answers. Results. Mom, please talk. You are not to have the life of independency in the land where it was. You have to turn to the dependency laws. It sounds like chemicals and, well, form. Private laws. The best. My family was a part of the ducks. Who are you then? The caste system does apply to the land where you are. You are not to follow anyone apart from mine. Ha. So in the words of you, they have brought the laws of the past where you were here. They are present in all forms around you. They are part of the land rituals. And they are to take over any directions. You are not to school now because you have no past background. Why did you enter the institution? It's all fees and it's to do where cash might work. If you got the cash, that will work. If you got caste, that may help. You ain't got the background to turn what you want from an education point of view to keep yourself down in the results. Then what does that mean? What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Well, you have translated the law of the land that gave you independence. You wanted to turn it to independence. Would you want to translate what chemical use you would fall under?
If you were a household of ducks,
then you are already a dog. Then you are already dog.
if you ain't from a household of ducks, then why would you want to do that? The system does here.
Yes! A reaction. Near.
All right, Uncle.
How are you? Now you would put the sound back because you know that was not you.
That's not me.
Why? You won't know that guy. Even if they talk like that, they're funnier than me. I've got nothing further to talk. I'll see you later. That was all. That was all. Ka.
Kai.
Oh, so behind the sound, they would not know that. They wouldn't understand funny. They would only see what they would understand from what they have already reviewed on the screens. That looks like me. That looks like me. That looks like me. What would you know?
You are the duck one from a background.
You have to make contracts with the lives to guarantee that no one else can be what you are.
You want the laws here, the private laws. You need dependency. You need to prove it all.
Independency wasn't for you.
Too.
So you are to take the free rights of any pupils, students that will go in the direction of any work because they are not part of the caste system that you were under from when you were. Two. So you have a free right until that particular duration of whether you would want to pick the caste that you have placed yourself that you are under.
A Smith or
Hi. Would you know all the castes here? Good night. Well, I wouldn't deny it. I know of my own seconds, honestly.
So, Mr. Doc from the Doc background.
You are part of the private laws, part of the independencies, part of the reasons that only you can work like a doc while anyone other than you cannot. So they would all have to result with you. Was it a shift of control? You must have power of some sort. Please talk free. Please tell. Sounds like a good story. Hell. Oh, well, some cannot prevent reactions. They have not gone to education. So they have to just put a reaction. It's too complicated. They have not gone to the literature sense that you would. Would you understand that from the position that you are in? Yes or no? Well, one's jealous. Why would you try to turn you into one that wants to go into education to doc when you ain't from the background?
That one's powers. You ain't. Why would you try that? Why would you go to the papers and stick with the results? What's the point? What's the purpose?
Then the muse of the wall.
Even though it sounds older than you are,
it will make sense in a certain part. Why? Well, one would think it was just to go to school and learn and you can turn. Now it seems that I must have a background. The fears the life of finances in full, the bills that were paid, the house where we stayed. So the opportunities are gone. Opportunities done. There are no roads to education in the land where you are. The free rights must remove and the fees must. Well, if you got the cash, please, 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 then that's not consent. But it's not like that to the full level or strictness. You still have opportunities later. Depends on you, sir. But that's not everywhere. So where would they have brought it? From the lands of the past, from the lands where they were then. The kids, the children there would not attend the school where they are. If they can't afford the fees, they work on the farm. And then they will tell you that they're lucky to get that work. Other than that, it might mean they cannot ever go anywhere at all. It's a lockup. You stay inside and you do nothing. It's lazy. And you get told that you ain't good for nothing until they will decide whether you are. Why would one enter my account, copy card, and find route out? Because the finance may influence anyone that was near. So that will give you the shorthand right to find out what was near. Authorities are fraud, it seems. We're life in the world where we meet. Private laws, you talk. What are the private laws? Well, if they have brought the laws that they were in there, here, then there are no purposes to put the children that you have made into any school, into any life at all, without the consent of the one with the background. So if you are to future plan any of the children's that you are with's education, you must consider the ones that are already in said life, career, act, work, and consent whether they can go to that direction and allow the children that you have made to have any life at all. It's the system that's in place. It's the dream of it was the dream of one, and they have made it in a real. They have made it real for it. All that still would have that particular thoughts inside. You are not to have any life. You are not to have any career. You're not to have any act. You are not to work. You will decide because you ate the duck. Why would you put it on docs? Well, they tell you that it's a tradition of the past, that if you were not part of the said background, then you could not do that work at all. It's a hatred versus the law that was present here, where you would study in school and try to become one near. You would want to save the life around you. But if you were not of the particular background, you are not of the particular circle, you are not of the particular talks, what rights, shorthand, would you have for any try at all? Well, it would influence any decide of whether you were to go in that direction. So, if one wanted to try to make finance, well, the doctor's work seems to remain important. If one could put the school or the thoughts to the papers, that means there's no direction, because you have not got the background, because that one would have told you that that's the law that was there. Now if one were to brought the law here, that means that was victory, and that's all that was. You are not to pay. You are not to like a nice house for you later. You are to think worse than where you were. They will find out what fees were paid from the houses. whether the bills were on the due dates, and why they were on credits. And then you hear the person, and then you know what to talk.
You look at the life that they have, and you consider whether they must want one at all.
Need one. That sounds like you were near a threat of some sorts. No, it's just a consideration of why they are dark.
It was a part of a group.
So in a sense, your talk that the mafia also were here, Joe too.
Because you are not in the particular background that one was.
And when that one's in that particular background, they have done the mafioso act versus you from day one. It's a contract. One's jealous, one would not deny it.
You try to get any result, we will find out from where you are. Yeah.
So you are to take the children's lives out because they're not from the same background like you. The road to independency has left the West. They would laugh in India. They would laugh in former India, sorry. They would laugh in Pakistan. They would find it funny. They would follow herself one day. If you got the cash, you make it. If you ain't got it, you stay inside. And the duration that you would stay inside would fall under whether the bills were on the due day. You ain't to work because one won't allow it, because they would assume that they are the governor of the land where they work. So now you have to present to all the children where you would like to go to school and talk of the maturity that you're in, and guarantee that you have portrayed compassion for the society, since you are to tell all the children now that there's no point of the present where they are. You are to tell them that they have not to study because the present will have no purpose later in life, and they may find worse because that's why.
That's just the way life works now.
You understand the sections, but you will fall under credits. You will still owe. It's kind that that's done for you, but it's still debt, and you would have to understand that. What it influence? Well, it's the portrayal of said manner. If it's the portrayal of a ruffian, then it ain't the portrayal of a dark. The smile's all you need to take count. If one has followed the purpose of what they would want, or what one would want. Because of the background, they have taken control. They are not to allow anyone apart from own. They are part of the circles and the groups. One was jealous because you wanted to get you a nice house. That's not allowed for the kinds that you are. You are not part of the world that one was. No. And in the groups and the circles, they will decide what's for you. Whether you got the know or not, that's the truth. So you can put, you will have to tell the children now that there's no point of they go to school. Keep them inside, learn something new. Find a way to end the works, the plan of one that's already
secure in a position of background, secure in a position or presentation, because they have proven, they have shown that they have acted from the duration present. It's jealousy. It will burn the inside. The temperature over warms goodbye. And the jealousy, the sin of jealousy will not befall sin. They are not part of the press that they are in. When that consumes the human's flesh, then that's the end, my friend. Who are you to think that you can try to put yourself in the roots that were part of the independency acts in the past? Would you understand the role to have now altered on the particular books and reads and articles where they were not present, but they might now find results where they aren't? You understand background, yes? If you ain't part of the dark circle, you ain't gonna turn to dark. You ain't gonna independent because it's not allowed. Because it's decided for you and it's decided from everyone around. Documents, throw them out. Put them inside because that's what they would want. In the past, the dreams of the present to turn around. Now, the present was kind. The turnaround was an improvement, an advancement, a new life. Are we now to take away the free rights of the life that we are in? You aim to advance, improve, because that's the way that life was. You are not part of the particular system. You are not part of the particular life. You are not part of that particular world. So, my friend, it's always goodbye. When you are a cause factor of the dreams to now not present. Well, what's one like you's dreams? You wanted to live a nice life. Then maybe you wanted to improve on where you really were. Guy, boys can't have them. They're part of video. Guy. I can sense a lot of genderist parts in the cells that you present, man. Was that true? That's not the tutor. We know they were like that. They are part of a tradition. They cannot alter. But the present tense, the present one where one was, have you got the same values and traditions installed inside of you? So, Mr. Background, well, you're in the doc now. Doctor Background. That's a good one. I'll have to shorten it or breaking it down for you. Dr. Back, get round. Please tell how you are now the cause factor for translation of the law in the land where you are. A primary cause, secondary cause, primary cause, secondary cause, primary cause. It's all. Well, one like you talks, one will not. Are you going to tell me what you have done and what you have done? Why you have done what you have done? Do you follow principles at all? You portray a manner of work. What are the principles behind what you are, who you are? What principles do you follow? You do not like the law here, so why do you live here? Why would you want to live here? Why would you use the dock? Because that's the hardest course to get in, aside of the institutions known. Or it might be having a relation to the past studies. It sounds like his person. No. So, due to the background that one docs, one told you that it's not for you, it's for you. It ain't allowed because you ain't part of the caste that they are in. You ain't a part of the system, a part of the circles. And it's funny to joke. Since. How do you plead? Recall that if you ain't got the cash, then what was the purpose of you? Money is the power, and it was here from when one was two. You just didn't understand it like anyone else can. What you gonna do? Find a new mom? Well, I cannot find an act to suit you when you have converted you to but you won't understand you, and then what you would do. Well, once in the compare, the finances prove it was here. If it's an act of mafioso, usually they have cash. So what would you like to do? You're going to put it all down. I won't want to know the kind. Would you? Well, if you wanted to act hard, or if you wanted to behave like that, then one must understand that. Yeah, but then you ain't gonna have the hard act. So how do you please? The discreet talks to enter. Do you notice? Yes. Oh, I notice. One notice. What else can you use? The communication must find clarity. You might see me later.